All right, South Georgia Fig family. As we near the end of our rooting 70 fig tree cuttings in water propagation experiment, we're left with about 4 or 5 cuttings. All the rest of our cuttings have either been fully propagated and potted up at this time, or they have either been lost during the propagation process. We've lost a total of 16 out of the 70 fig tree cuttings that we attempted to propagate. And at this point, we're left with these 5 or 6 cuttings that about to show you guys right now as I swing this camera around. Take a look at this. We have one Smith fig tree cutting that we're in the process of currently in the process of propagating. We have to actually cut this cutting off. The bottom portion of this cutting actually began to rot in a shallow amount of water. So we simply cut the bottom portion of that cutting off up to the next growth node here. You guys can see we trimmed a little bit of that bark there off at the very tip of the growth node. It's already putting out new foliage, and we expect to see roots popping out on this cutting in the very near future. We already have a couple of white bumps up there, but that's above the point where we will be planting this fig tree cutting down in the soil. So we hope to see roots sprouting down here along this base in the next week or so. Next up, we have one Columbaro fig tree cutting that we're currently in the process of propagating, left from our rooting 70 fig tree cuttings in the water grow experiment. As you guys can see, it already has bumps popping out on it. We scored it again at the bottom of the cutting to stimulate more root growth on this side and on that side. Again, it already has roots popping out on it, but we hope to see indeed even more roots popping out on that cutting within the next 5 to 7 days. This tiny cutting here is a cutting that we actually added to this grow experiment about 2 weeks ago. We took this cutting from our largest and oldest blue Celeste fig tree cutting here about 2 weeks ago, and take a look at this South Georgia fig family. It's been about 14 days as we pop this cutting in that water, and you guys can see we already have nice roots popped out on this cutting after only about 2 weeks of time sitting in that water. That's our third cutting. Here we have one Basilica fig tree cutting that we almost gave up on. This thing had some propagation issues from the very start. But again, this is one of the cuttings that we cut off. The bottom portion of it, the bottom portion of this cutting was beginning to rot. We removed that cutting, that portion of the cutting up to this next growth node. And you guys can see we have an abundance of roots popping out on this cutting at this time, and we're super excited about that. If my camera will focus. Super excited to see those roots pop out on this cutting. That's our fourth cutting, and our fifth and last cutting is the last of our Verdon strawberry fig tree cuttings. It too had a few issues propagating, so we cut off the bottom portion of this cutting before we place it in this water here, roughly about a week ago, roughly about 2 weeks ago, and this is what it looks like at this point. Can indeed see those bumps beginning to pop out along the stem there near the bottom. So it too is well on its way to propagating for us here at South Georgia Figs. Again, our final 5 fig tree cuttings from our rooting 70 fig tree cuttings in water. Again, we lost, I think, a total of about 16 cuttings during this propagation experiment. And we'll bring you guys back in another 7, maybe 10 days to show you the progress that these remaining cuttings have made at that point. Thanks for watching. And if indeed you currently are watching this video on rooting 70 fig tree cuttings in water, and you're not already subscribed to South Georgia Figs, please take this moment to press that subscribe button beneath this video, the like button, the notification button, and be sure to share this video with your friends and family as well. Thanks for watching. Our Peter's honey. YOLO. Marco Polo. Columbaro, Marco Polo, and DSJG figs, also from our Rudy 70 fig tree cuttings in water propagation experiment. Thanks for watching.